It's a Trader Joe's. It just comes out like a seasonal thing, and so
Good afternoon, everyone.
good afternoon, Mary.
Hello, and on this beautiful Sunday, they're all beautiful, no matter what the weather's like, right?
Right.
Because we get to be here together. So let us begin our service with our Prayer of the Child of Love song. It's right on the front of your songbook, and I invite you to stand and sing with us.
Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally. Every day, in every way, amen. Every day, I will pray again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally. Everywhere, let love be there. Amen. Everywhere, this my prayer again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally.
So beautiful. Please have a seat. And we'll begin our opening meditation. So just kind of prepare a moment for this. I invite you to close your eyes and just begin to relax your body. Let's take 2 deep breaths together. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Let's lay down all of the busyness and doing of the day. Any concerns and worries, just lay them right down on the floor. Letting go of any need to control people or things in our lives. We allow Spirit to show us the way, with love as our guide. We open to the flow of good into our experience, into our world. And intentionally we align with the frequencies of harmony and peace, abundance and joy. Consciously participating in the co-creation of humanity. Divine love expresses through us, as us, ever opening our minds and our hearts, and ever expanding our awareness. And in that place of love in our hearts, we know that all is well. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. We are going to bring up our wonderful musician today, our special fellowship friend, Linda Abar. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. This is a very well-known song that I do my way. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things: cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things: girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into spring. These are a few of my favorite things: when the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Corey. Beautiful, beautiful. Just a reminder that in your envelope there, in your bulletin packet, you have a connection card that you can list any one or any condition or thing you'd like to offer for prayer later in the service, and just put that in the basket as the basket comes around later on. We're going to stand and sing a song together. If you want to, please look in your songbooks for page 32, and please stand and sing "Love Will Guide Us."
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from green to living. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot like angels, if you cannot speak for thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us. Inside us will lead the way on the road from green to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Please stay standing and greet your neighbor or people across the room, whatever.
I scanned yours. I scanned you over there.
20. No. Oh my gosh, I got it. It's a good age. It keeps changing. And the emails and the told me they say it was way too bad.
In the back row?
Goes to that slower.
I am really happy to introduce our speaker this afternoon, our Reverend Julie Cribley. She's been with us such a long time, back in the day when she was working with Fellowship, and I was thinking about that this morning. When Samantha and I started, she was there to guide us, and we are so appreciative of all the guidance she gave us. So let's give her a warm, warm welcome.
What a wonderful welcome. It is always really good to be here. So I found this poem that I just wanted to read a minute to start my talk. And I'm hoping when we get to the end, you'll see why I chose it. I cannot tell you how the light comes in. What I know, it is more ancient than imagining, that it travels across the astounding expanse to reach us, that it loves searching out what is hidden, what is lost, what is forgotten, or in peril, or in pain, that it has a fondness for the body, for finding its way toward the flesh, for tracing the edges of form, for shining forth through the eye, the heart, the hand. I cannot tell you how the light comes in, but that it does, and that it will, that it works its way into the deepest dark that enfolds you. Though it may seem long ages in coming, or arrive in a shape you did not foresee. And so may we this day turn ourselves toward it. May we lift our faces to let it find us. May we bend our bodies to follow the arc it makes. May we open and open more and open still to the blessed light that comes. Jan Richardson. So I titled this talk today, Intimacy Without Responsibility. And I just wanted that to sink in a minute, because I have to tell you that I had a lot of people say to me, I think you should change your title, because you're going to give people the wrong idea. And I thought, no, what I hope happens is it compels them to come and say, what is she talking about? She can't possibly mean what I think she means, right? So I decided to stay with it. Several people, it's actually about being more in relationships with people you love without feeling responsible for their reactions, their pain, their feelings, or even their success or joy. It's an attitude of allowing people to be responsible for their own reactions and feelings so that communication with one another can be more real, more truthful. I believe intimacy without responsibility is an art, and one must be able to look deeply within and perhaps be willing to do some healing and transforming to live, think, and communicate in this way. It's knowing that you can be emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually intimate with someone and still be free to be you. And every relationship that encourages such a relationship will only bring more love and more joy to everyone that's involved, without being a threat to other relationships that you love being a part of. I absolutely love that word, intimacy. It sounds warm and loving. And does it only pertain to a sexual relationship? I say no. I have discovered that intimacy with myself reflects the self-love I carry within. And the more time that I spend being intimate with myself, the more loving and caring I become. Every relationship we have is mirroring something about ourselves that is wanting to come up into our consciousness. So we might experience true healing and transformation to come up for the evolution of our soul. Intimacy without responsibility is actually about the mystery and the sacred space that relationships can take us. Intimacy without responsibility can teach that every person we attract into our lives is part of us, and that no matter what happens in each relationship, it is bringing us toward the real true self of who we are and why we came. Intimacy without responsibility is about the conscious evolution of love. Do you often censor your true feelings so you don't hurt somebody else? When in the presence of others, we do sometimes find it very difficult to be authentic and end up hiding our joy or our pain, our truth, even our love. It can be challenging to be in a relationship with others and stay true to yourself. Rather than being or feeling abandoned by the other, we may find it hard to even let go of wanting to save or fix another and just focus on ourselves. Having intimacy without responsibility for others is about practicing the art and the skill of freedom within the relationship and moving always toward more love and self-care. Moving always toward that center of our true being. When we truly heal and take care of our own issues, we can love more deeply. You can and should discover how to live your passions, your mission, and your purpose, and become committed to your own wholeness. And yet, still, you can deeply love others. It is possible to speak your truth, have a voice, and to reprogram conscious and unconscious beliefs that say you are responsible for another's feelings or happiness. People are fearful of speaking their truth because they are afraid of the reaction of the person they are speaking to. We all want people to love us and to approve of us, and at times we might even go too far to get it. People are always afraid of hurting others, making people angry. Real love and true emotional intimacy, however, exist when two people can be completely free to be real, whatever that means in that moment. Being real means that I have the freedom and the safety to be who I am, to express who I am in the now according to me. Keep in mind that speaking the truth in this work is about expressing feelings as they occur. Speaking your truth and having a voice is not about giving opinions, judgments, or criticisms. Truly, that's a message that should be shared with the world, right? That having our voice is not about judging, it's not about criticizing, and it's certainly not about giving our opinion. It's about being true to who we are. Having a voice is being able to tell someone when you feel sad or happy, angry, shamed, or scared. Because when you release those kind of feelings, your body is free to go back to a true center and in balance. You can begin to touch on the thought that all of life's experiences from birth until today translate into your present self, and belief system with core issues that get activated by the people and environment you find yourself in. Energetically, your body does remember everything, especially old wounds, traumas, and hurts, which eventually will get reenacted in the relationships you draw to you. Any unfinished business from your past will always find you on your path because you will unconsciously, maybe consciously, attract it to you. And I say amen. How grateful we should be for the glorious opportunity it will continue to give us, time and time again, to face our wounds and our fears and our traumas. How every time we face them, we'll always find ourselves in a different space, so we may work upon them a bit more effectively. I know a lot of times when they circle back around, I think, I thought I healed that. Oh, goodness, I guess I didn't as far as I thought I did. And it is difficult at times to appreciate that it circled back around and that it's giving me another opportunity. But however, my goal in this life is truly to grow. So again, I say amen. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing this back to me and allowing me to look at it again and work on it from a different perspective. Because thankfully, every time it does circle around, I have grown some. So I'm approaching it a little differently this time than I did last time. And I'm looking forward to the day when I no longer see it come back. And then I will be living in joy and living the life that I was meant to live. Understanding that responsibility versus blame, I feel, is also an incredibly significant matter to comprehend. Because we do associate intimacy with responsibility and sometimes blame. By freeing yourself from the responsibility of somebody else's reaction to you, it also has the effect of freeing you up from accepting any blame. Imagine life with no blame. If we all focused on becoming more intimate with ourselves, thus freeing everybody else up to do the same, we could perhaps eliminate the need to blame. There's a difference between responsibility and commitment, however. There are two ways to think about where intimacy and connection are concerned. Neither is better than the other, but they are different, and we sometimes confuse them. One is commitment. Commitment is a dedication, a vow that you will give to someone a part of yourself, whether it's your time or your effort or your patience. It's a twinning of lives that brings people together, shedding certain aspects and parts of themselves for the sake of a communion. It is the stuff of marriages, obviously, but it's also the stuff of our relationships. Oftentimes, a commitment is the dividing line between a friendship and a relationship. Something casual becomes less casual when perhaps it started all in fun, but now it's become important. It's sanctified and essential to us. The other responsibility is far simpler, a kind of owing one another that relies less on what you choose to create with someone rather than what you think they deserve. And that word deserve can be tricky. It says as much about you as it does about them. What do you owe the person in your life? What do you feel they are entitled to? I think this is an extremely important question to ask ourselves, and often overlooked or uncommunicated, but in many ways it is utterly essential. What it expresses is less what you think someone deserves from you, and more about what you think you are responsible to give to them. It's usually the case that you feel you have more responsibilities when you're committed to a person than when no such commitment exists. Commitment, after all, is a form of responsibility, but this gives rise to sometimes an unhealthy tendency. We sometimes act if all responsibility is a form of commitment, as if without the commitment we owe each other nothing whatsoever, or conversely, that as soon as we behave responsibly towards someone, we are now guaranteeing some form of commitment. So in many ways, it is liberating to forge connections that care more about intimacy than about commitment. To have people in your life who, though they come and go, treat you with the utmost dignity and to care because that is what they offer to themselves, represents true intimacy. If they have learned how to be intimate with themselves, then they trust how to give love and intimacy back. A part of that responsibility always does involve maintaining a respect for boundaries, yours and theirs. For to say no aloud is a responsibility in and of itself, especially when you let go of the attachment to the reaction of the one you say no to. In this sense, it's more important to manage connections and intimacy without responsibility, for it forces you to own up to the ways in which you are not responsible for someone else's sense of self. Commitment is beautiful, even sacred. I'm not suggesting anything less. But commitment is more meaningful the less you feel you owe it, the less you feel you need it. For what is more touching than to commit to someone because you want to, because you're saying yes? Without it, people feel incomplete. So to commit to somebody because you are complete, because you are satisfied, you are whole, and thus you are freely giving yourself to an extraordinary connection. Having the freedom to say yes is what makes that yes so truly beautiful. The freer you feel to say no without losing anything meaningful, the more it means that you would choose to commit. We need to be careful about what we insist people should only have intimacy via commitment. At its most extreme, you could argue that there should be no singular intimate connection outside of a committed relationship. When we emphasize, however, commitment and ignore intimacy, we create unhealthy expectations for each other. For I really believe the more people we have in our lives who treat us intimately, who afford us dignity, who teach us that true intimacy can be found without committing to something binding, the freer we are to choose what we want to commit ourselves to. Important things should not be treated casually, it is said. If that's true, then we should not let commitment become such a casual thing that we enter into it for the base or simple reasons. Commitment should be a form of elevation, something that gives us more than the bare essentials, something that truly elevates our soul. To prioritize how others view and react to us and demand commitment forces others to take responsibility for our sense of self-worth. And I'm saying let's stand up and take responsibility for our own self-worth. Let's not ask other people to commit and be responsible for how we feel about ourselves, how we're reacting to the pain and the traumas we've faced in our lives, and what we're choosing to do with it. It cheapens us when we decide that we are owed nothing, entitled to nothing, but what we give ourselves over to. That's not to say that it is inherently noble to spurn commitment or responsibility of any kind. I'm not proposing that at all. I hope you hear that. If you use avoidance of commitment or the lack of responsibility as an excuse not to care about your impact on others or to care about what you might want to give them, you're missing the point of this talk. When I looked up the words to use rather than intimacy, I found words such as affection, understanding, friendship, affinity, and communion. And I thought, that's how I view intimacy. What wonderful words. And yet, when seeking other words for responsibility, I found words such as burden, guilt, liability, fault, and culpability. And I thought, whoa, okay. Understanding should matter regardless of commitment. It should be given to those whom you are not ready to commit yourself to, because it shouldn't matter if you're committed. I'm suggesting that we view the world through our lens of intimacy and love, and we share that wherever we find ourselves. Whether we're committed or not, we just bring it with us because it's what we've learned to do for ourselves. It should be offered not as a forsaking of your freedom, but as a clause of it, as a guarantee that no matter how much time and space you need for yourself, no matter how much independence you require, you will nonetheless elevate anyone who finds themselves in your life. You will cherish them and always afford them dignity. For there is no such thing as connection without commitment in the end. Even the chanciest encounter is a commitment of sorts to sharing the world with all the other people who occupy it. And even if that is the only commitment you will ever care to afford, you owe it to those people to show them your true self, offered with love and compassion, in hopes that they will feel free to share their true self with you. If they are subsequently drawn to you, you don't owe it to them to commit more than you feel the two of you should share. But to the extent that you are with them, you are with them. And you should treat that connection with care. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter. That was from Rachel Carson from her book Silent Spring in 1962. And while nature invites us to grow and share intimacy with her, she refuses to accept responsibility for how we respond to that invitation. I'm suggesting that we learn to do the same. Let's invite life and others around us to grow and share in intimate relationships, and yet not accept responsibility for how others respond. I'm proud to be one of the many millions of human beings living on this planet Earth with the intention to live in peace and to have a positive impact on the lives of others, and teaching myself how to create relationships without responsibility. Let us remember that it's not our task to fix the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is simply within our reach. The more deeply we receive the blessings that flow all around us, the more generously we will carry them and give those blessings to others. If you thank your mind, it will relax. If you thank your heart, it will open. If you thank your past, it will integrate. If you thank your symptoms, they will heal. If you thank your shadow, it will vanish. If you thank your life, it will transform. If you thank yourself, the light will dawn. To be fully awake to life is a matter of ceaselessly digging for that submerged sunrise of wonder, a matter of living with a responsibility to awe. Out of the responsibility arises a kind of quietly rapturous spirituality, a way of moving through the world, wonder smitten by reality. Thank you, fellowship, for mirroring back to me real joy and real love of intimacy and connection. I openly and joyously create that with you. For with you, I always see the goodness in me, and I am so grateful for that gift. And may we open and open more, and open still to the blessed light and intimacy that is truly to be found in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. This is the time in our service when we fill ourselves with gratitude for all of the blessings in our lives, and also fill ourselves with gratitude for all of the generosity of all of you, for all of your wonderful and positive donations to the fellowship in many ways. But we especially at this time are grateful for your financial donations. John is going to be bringing the basket around. Thank you, John. And remember to put your prayer cards in there as well. And as John comes around, Corey's going to guide us in our gratitude chant.
Sing with me, grateful, I am grateful. 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 Grateful, I am grateful.
And if you would, please read with me the blessing of our tithes and offerings on the front of your bulletin. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. Thank you so, so much for your generosity. Don't want to give this away yet. I invite you again to go within, close your eyes as we remember everyone that is listed on your cards in the basket today. Everyone that you hold dear and close. Everyone that you see within the love of God, the divine love that we share with them and they share with us. Our human eyes see the difficulties and the challenges. But when we see through God eyes, through creative, intelligent eyes, we know that all is well and that love is finding its way to everyone who opens their heart to receive. And we see those in the basket today opening their hearts, because love will find them. Love will guide them. And all will be well. And together we say, and so it is. This next song is a really beautiful song to sing as we do remember each other and we remember those people that we listed on our prayer cards today. If you would, please turn to page 24. Please stand if you would, or if you're able. And we're going to sing together the song at the bottom of the page, I See the Light.
I see the light of God in you, the light of Christ comes shining through, and I am blessed to be with you, O holy child of God. I see the light of God in you, the light of Christ comes shining through, and I am blessed to be with you, O holy child of God.
Thank you. Be seated, please.
I wrote this song. It's about being thankful for yeah. Thank you for what's been given me and what's been taken away. Thank you for all that's come to pass and for what's yet to come. For by losing, I've learned to let go. From what's been given, I've learned to receive. From all that's past, I've learned to trust you. For what tomorrow may bring. Thank you for what's been given me and what's been taken away. Thank you for all that's come to pass and for what's yet to come. For by losing, I've learned to let go. From what's been given, I've learned to receive. From all that's past, I've learned to trust you. For what tomorrow may bring, to give me what I need to grow into my next state of being, to grow. It's the nature of healing, to grow. To grow. Thank you for what's been given what's been taken away.
Beautiful song, Linda, and perfect for the talk today. Thank you so much. I want to thank everyone for being here this afternoon. It's always such a pleasure to look out and see your smiling faces. Thank you to those who are watching virtually. And whether you're watching today or next week or a month from now, we appreciate you and see you being with us here today, even though you're online. Thank you, Corey, and for all your wonderful music and your dedication to the fellowship. Thank you, Linda, for your beautiful, beautiful heart and voice. Thank you so much. And thank you, Reverend Julie. That was a beautiful, beautiful reminder, a beautiful talk. And I'm glad you didn't change the title. I had to give it a second thought myself, but I thought, I trust her. I know that it's going in a good place, going to a good place. So thank you so much. I have a few announcements before we close today. Saturday, November 11th is our gratitude dinner fundraiser. I hope you will have that on your calendar and will join us. We will be providing 3 different kinds of soup and bread, and if you can bring another side dish to share, that would be helpful. It's 5 o'clock, Saturday, November 11th, at the fellowship office. Saturday, November 18th, Death Cafe at 2 p.m. at the fellowship office as well. And also just a reminder that we have our alternative holiday sale coming up. That's November 17th and 18th, a Friday and a Saturday. Please come and support the fellowship. We've been working really hard to provide some really wonderful product for people to buy as a fundraiser. Friday the 17th from 5 to 9, and Saturday the 18th from 9 to 5. Also, we have healing movements at 4:30 on Mondays. That's a change in time, so if you're interested. We have healthy living class with Reverend Barb Kinsey every Wednesday at 3 p.m. No word on a sound bath for November yet, but I'll certainly let you know if I hear from Julie. And we do have our canister out in the hall that Julie talked to us about last Sunday. So if you would, between now and the Christmas party coming up in December, bring in some change, bring in your dollar bills, bring in your large checks for the refugee outreach Christmas gift. But you won't be able to miss it. It's a big red canister out there. So thank you all again for being here. Let's get into our peace circle and say our closing blessing.